Hello and welcome to Click on Sports. I am your host, Harry Kettle. Today we are joined by a very special guest. This man is a mixed martial artist within the UFC and he is coming off the back of one of the most emphatic knockouts of the year. It is none other than Galore Bofando. Galore, how are you today?
Yes, I'm fine. How you doing?
I'm very well, thank you, my friend. And first things first, how many times have you watched that back now, the KO from earlier in the year? And are you almost sick of people bringing it up, or do you consider it to be flattering?
No. I mean, I haven't really watched it so many times. I do have. I don't know if it's a good habit or bad habit of not watching my fight. So once it's done, for me, it's done. I just move forward. Yeah. So I haven't watched it much.
Yeah. So I was there live in the arena in Glasgow. And did you enjoy going into the fight without much promotion? Or are you going to kind of look forward to people anticipating your fight a bit more when you fight in Winnipeg?
It's kind of a mixed feelings. I mean, when I went there, there wasn't really that much promotion, and I wasn't really known that much. So that kind of gives you that I've got nothing to lose kind of feeling.
Yeah.
So sometimes when there's people anticipating things, and it kind of puts you under pressure, so it's kind of a mixed feeling.
Yeah. So outside of the octagon, what would you say are some of your hobbies or interests that fans might not be aware of?
Okay, well, I like cycling. I like doing lots of meditation, lots of spiritual stuff, and a few mathematics, a few science, just lots of things.
Yeah. So are they things you kind of picked up over the last few years, or have you always been passionate about that kind of thing ever since you've been in school?
What are you talking about? Martial arts?
In terms of like you just said, like science and meditation
Oh,
and things like
hobbies.
that.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I mean, have you ever heard of sacred geometry?
I have not, no.
Oh, yeah, that's what I like to practice. I like to work on sacred geometry. Basically, sacred geometry is like um, understanding the relationship between forms and things like that.
Okay, okay. So some people have actually referred to you as being like a real life Dragon Ball Z character. Do you like that? And do you think it's important to have a big personality in order to set yourself apart from other fighters?
Yeah, I think for me it's really important, and it's not something that I work on or anything. It just comes naturally, you see. But it is personality is the biggest thing you need to have in order to set yourself apart from other fighters.
Yeah. And you had your first professional fight, I think it was back in 2010. Was there a moment in your life where you realised that MMA was something you could dedicate your life to, or was this always the plan?
It wasn't a plan. I mean, I've always enjoyed martial arts, and MMA gave me the opportunity to explore and express martial arts to its fullest. So yeah, my first pro fight, I had probably about 4 weeks training of MMA, and I just went in there. So it was
What,
a big opportunity for me to actually experience martial arts to its fullest.
yeah. Was there a degree of nerves when you went in there, or did you feel very in control?
Oh, when it comes to nerves, I'm the biggest nerve back. I'm always nervous in anything. I'm always nervous. Always nervous.
Are there like certain ways you deal with that before the fight, or do you think if you don't have nerves, then maybe this is? Like, I think for some people, when they say they don't have nerves, maybe that isn't the thing for them to be doing professionally.
Mm. I mean, I mean, everybody deals with it differently. For me, how I deal with mine, I just positive affirmation to myself. And one of the things that helps me stay grounded during that state of nervous energy is just having that trust in my abilities. Just telling myself that when the time comes, my body will know what to do, and I won't have to think about it. So I just put the trust into my abilities, and that kind of keeps me in the calm.
Yeah. So after say like the first 5-10 seconds, when the referee has said to begin the fight, do you feel do the nerves continue until the end of the fight, or do you kind of start to gradually feel more at home?
Yeah, you start to gradually feel more at home. But those first, not the first 10 seconds, sometimes it could take a whole round, and you just feel like you're in this dream state. It's so weird. You just feel like you're dreaming, and then eventually you start waking up and things start falling into place.
In terms of the team you've got around you, when it comes to who you've got in your corner, what do you, or what did you look for in terms of what kind of people you want to surround yourself with in this kind of environment?
Okay, first things I look for experience, because I believe in this sport, whether you're the fight or the coaches or the corner, the experience plays a big part. So I look for experience, and which my coaches or my team seems to have a lot of. And then it's the relationship that you have with them. So, I've been working with them for quite a while now, and we kind of have a bond. So I look for that as well.
Yeah. Would you say there's one particular aspect of your game that you think stands out, or do you consider yourself to be one of the UFC's more well-rounded fighters?
I mean, I have to be truthful and as much as I can. I don't consider myself to be, a whole-rounded fighter just as yet, because I still have much to learn. However, I do have the abilities to do something in a fight that I myself cannot replicate in training. So I think that's my strong point. So I myself don't even know, what's going to come out sometimes.
In the week or days leading up to a fight, what I know you said you tend to be quite nervous. Do you have a routine or a ritual, like in terms of what you like to do, like being accustomed to the surroundings of where you are? Like, what's your process in the week leading up to a fight?
I like to hang out a lot around nature.
Okay.
So that's what I like. So around trees and forests and things like that. So I don't really like staying indoors too much, because what happens, the nerves start getting the better of you. So what I have to do, something just keep myself moving. So I try to do that as much as I can during the week leading up to the fight. Then I don't have to think about things too much as well.
So whereabouts are you located? Are you in kind of central London area, or are you in an area where nature is quite accessible in terms of going out and?
Yeah. I am in Chigwell, so that's in Essex. So we have lots of green around here.
Have you been there? Have you been there for a long time?
No. I just moved there recently. However, when I used to live in a place where it was more buildings, I used to just ride off somewhere and then find the green and just hang around there.
Okay. So what are your thoughts on the growth of MMA in Europe over the last few years, given how many newcomers like yourself have been rising up through the ranks?
Okay, so what are my thoughts? Okay, when I first watched MMA, me just having a stand-up background, I didn't really understand it. However, I did notice that time it was full of fighters, but not martial artists. What I've noticed now is that more martial artists are starting to emerge in the sport, and it's making a big change in the sport. So yeah, that's my thoughts to it. I'm starting to see a big change due to the fact that we're getting more martial artists involved.
Yeah. Because of how many finishes you've got under your belt, if you go out there in Winnipeg and you win by decision, do you personally consider that to be a bit disappointing, or is it just getting the win that matters to you?
I really try to focus on performance. Because I just don't believe in the martial aspect of combat. I also like the art side of it. So with me, if I win and I don't perform well, I'm still upset. I just consider that as losing. And if I lose and I did my best, I performed well, and I was able to do everything I did in the gym that I was intending to do in the fight, for me, it's a win. So I focus more on the performance. I don't really care about winning or losing too much. It's just about how I perform.
Yeah. So in that sense, when it comes to your opponent, when your opponent is announced for an upcoming fight, do you kind of just try and focus directly on that one person for a certain amount of time? Because I think a lot of fighters try to create this fake animosity. Do you just kind of see it as, this person is in my way and I need to deal with it as if it is a professional fight situation?
Yes, that's exactly how I see it. I don't really have any animosity towards my opponents, unless they start taking a bit off track, bringing in silly stuff and all that, and then it becomes something else. But until then, I don't see it as anything. apart from just me going there doing my job.
Yeah. Now, just to finish things off, this is something we like to ask everybody. What do you think the next 18 to 24 months have in store for Galore Bofando?
It all depends on how I perform. It all depends. Well, if the training goes well, so we should be looking forward to seeing some stuff that many people haven't seen, in the history of mixed martial arts anyway.
Yeah. Well, Galore, it really has been fascinating speaking to you today, and wish you all the best of luck in Winnipeg and beyond.
Thank you. Thank you so much.